So here's the thing. Every time I'm out of alignment is because of Brynn.
Girl, bye.
I was like, I want you to marry Oliver. I want Oliver to want to marry you. I don't want you coming off like this as an angry black woman, you know? And
Wait a damn minute.
respect to my name. If you call me snake, but you do that. You do that all the time. Don't mock me. Just let her express herself. Express.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna talk about the Real Housewives of New York. And this review is gonna be really quick. Not that much happened, but there was a lot of like meat to it. It was very like, you know, boop, 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 but like a lot of meat to it. We're gonna talk about Brynn, Ubah, and we're gonna be talking about Raquel. But y'all like, comment, subscribe, let's get into the video.
Yeah, let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
Something in this episode, two things happened in this episode that I kind of did not like. And it's a whole nuance for the last part. I'm gonna leave towards the end. But they did Shabbat, right? And something within the Jewish faith that they practice, like it's like bar mitzvahs, but something different. But Aaron said something about Rebecca. I called her Rachel last time, I think. But Rebecca was basically, she knew like the prayer and all that, and then Aaron was like, it's kind of confusing, like how are you a Scientologist but you're Jewish too? That doesn't make sense. And I'm just looking at her like, girl, like regardless of whatever her religion is, people want to put religion in a box every time, and it's so like you have to be this because you can't be this, you can't be this because you gotta be this. And it's just like religion is not a monolith. It is so multifaceted, right? So I just feel like for her to try to put her in a particular box, like it's not your religion. Let her explain it instead of you passing judgment, right? But that's Aaron. So this episode, like it leaves, it continues where it left off, where Ubah was over here going into Brynn's ass, and Brynn she's feeling the heat. She got two girls over here not fucking with her, and she just doesn't know how to cope with people not liking her. And I think that's a lot of people that come onto a reality shows. A lot of people do not know how to cope with people not liking them. And they don't know how to actually authentically be themselves in a space where people don't like them.
Fight or flight is kicking in, and because I don't fight, I'm on the first flight, baby.
Me personally, I grew up and I was bullied, and I grew up knowing people didn't fuck with me and didn't like me, and I still was myself. I still did what I had to do. And a lot of people that are LGBTQ plus IA in these communities had to, you know, become, you know, their own one, had to become their own support system, had to become their own defender, had to be stand up for them fucking selves. So it was just like one of those things where just like with Brynn, for her to get so like, you know, like she's at her fight or flight. People want to say with fight or flight, they think it's just two. They're actually three: fight, flight, freeze. You either gonna fight, you either gonna run, or you're gonna freeze up. But I was just disappointed just to see Brynn like, I'm just ready to go home. I just want to do this. And I get it, you know? But I'm just like, when Aaron was getting tag teamed by all y'all back in Anguilla, you had shit to say. Everything was peaches and cream, right? But now, oh, you ready to go home? Oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, you can't do this. You can't be bothered. But you've been condescending. You've been over here running your fucking mouth. You've been doing all these things. My whole thing with Brynn is like, you can give it, but you can't take it. And that's basically what it is, right? But we see the girls that go out for you're playing tennis. No, real cute. We actually learn a little bit about Raquel's backstory, and it kind of like touches me a little bit.
When I was 11, I wanted to know who my father was.
Basically, she was like, she has a different last name than her father. She didn't know her father. Her mom left her dad when she was 1 year old. She called him randomly one day. She got his number by way of, you know, an individual. Pick up the phone. A woman picked up the phone. She was like, oh, I'm so-and-so's daughter. Obviously, it didn't go well. She then, her dad got on the phone and said, never call this house again. Rude as fuck. But, you know, her uncle got in touch with his brother, was just like, what are you doing? This is fucked up. This is your child. She wants to meet you. Fix it.
He invited me to a Thanksgiving. And how old are you, sorry? You're like, I was at this point 12.
So he brought them to, you know, Thanksgiving, you know, tried to I guess, have that moment, you know, family moment, but it did not go right. And she left there basically saying like, I would never see this man again in my life. Deuces, done. And they went no contact. She is very emotional about the fact that her dad, that, you know, she wanted to change her name. She did not want to have this man's name, did not want to be tethered to him, you know. I understand that. Like I told y'all, some of you guys know, some of you guys don't know, but I've been going no contact with my dad, and it was hard at first just because I was confused on me and my dad. Backstory: me and my dad, we rekindled our relationship back when I was a sophomore in college, and that was like what, a couple of years ago. So now that we're in this spot now, it's a lot of things happening when I was a little kid, right? A lot of trauma, a lot of abuse that I'm really not gonna get into. I talked about it in therapy. Mentally, I go back and, you know, console that younger child that was hurt, abused, and all these certain things. Maybe one day I'll go into detail of what all happened. I mean, my mom knows. She wanted to my mom wanted to go the full stop and press charges. Like, when I say it was crazy, and the fact that I'm sitting here in this chair today is just a testimony of, you know, my resilience and how fortunate I am, because things could have took a deadly turn, and I'm happy that, you know, I had, you know, a guardian angel watching over me, because the things that had happened to me when I was a little kid, I don't think any other child should have went through, but it is what it is. But like I said, me and my dad, we got over that as an adult, and I tried to open myself back up to him. Very reserved because of the past trauma that I've been through. So I tried to build, you know, a layer of trust. And once that trust was broken again, and I started seeing pattern of behavior again, it was a hard stop, and I said, I cannot do this. I told my older sister, I was like, I'm not doing this no more. I am completely done, because that trauma that I suffered through when I was a little kid, I would be damned as the confident grown adult that put myself through college twice, who did everything for myself as a grown ass adult. I would be damned to ever feel like that hurt child again when I was young. So I cut everything off.
My father's an asshole too. And so we just went down the family line and found a name. You found a good name.
And maybe one day we can, you know, get back into a mutual place and mutual understanding. My dad, he's still, at times, he's stuck in the past, feeling like the things that he's done, he didn't do. So to be stuck in that denial, unfortunately, I'm just not gonna be a part of it. Shout out to my other siblings for, you know, dealing with it, but they don't put pressure on me to have that relationship. So with Raquel, I definitely start tearing up, because I understand her pain, and I understand how frustrating it is to have a parent that should guide you and be there for you, because we didn't ask to be here, right? So it's just one of those things where it's just like, you have to do it on your own, right? So the girls over here, they're making dinner, they're having a good time, laughter, they're putting roaches in the food, fake roaches, but putting roaches in the food, this and the third. It's a really cool moment, and you can just definitely see the girls having a good time.
What? There's 8 legs in my plate. Oh my god.
I want to touch on this Twitter situation real quick, because a lot of girls on Twitter talk about, oh, the old RHONY is much better, the new RHONY is And I'm just so perplexed, because I never was a fan of the old RHONY. I think I've seen a couple clips. I saw when Ebony came on. I saw Scary Island. I saw when Aviva took that fucking leg off and threw it on that damn table. I saw a little bit of Bethany. But I never really was a fan of the old RHONY to be that tethered to it. So for everybody to talk shit about, oh, y'all try to make the new RHONY happen, da 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 da. I'm like, it's like, even if this could have been Real Housewives of Hamptons, I don't give a fuck. I just like the cast, and I like, it seems organic, like an organic friend group. and they're all getting to know each other. That's what I like to cast. Y'all are just stuck on Real Housewives of New York. But to each his own. I just had to get that out there too. So after the dinner, the next morning, the girls are over here having breakfast, you know, lunch. They have a chef come in, making the food. Woo, woo, woo. So Ubah and Brynn finally had that conversation.
And we start laughing, and Aaron said, look at you guys love each other. And both of us, Brynn and I, we were looking at her, I was like, of course we do. Yes, we do. I love you. I love you too.
And Ubah's basically telling Brynn that, you know, I feel like you're chastising, and I feel like, you know, when I'm talking, I don't want to be interrupted. And I just find it funny with Ubah because you steamrolled this whole conversation. Brynn was being respectful, and she set a clear boundary that you're crossing every time. So for me, it's like, if Brynn over here did the same thing to you, how are you gonna be mad? Because you're telling her, I don't like to be interrupted, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like this. And she's saying, well, I don't like you call me out my name and you this. Y'all both are setting boundaries, but you are taking the stance to cross her boundary.
Interrupted. When I'm having a conversation with someone else, let me finish. Wait, I thought this was like a I love you moment. No, let's go back to the I love you part.
So I think that's why in this moment, Brynn's just like, girl, what the fuck are we doing? So Brynn's basically telling her, like, you know, don't talk to me in that manner. Like, I don't like it. And you're saying, well, if you be condescending, then I'm going to call you a snake, and I'm going to call you this, and I'm going to call you that. So everybody's telling, you know, Ubah, like, you know, let her talk, you know, give her the floor.
Don't mock me. But you do that. You do that all the time. Don't mock me. Just let her express herself. Express. Let Brynn speak as well.
She should be able to talk. Ubah's not really hearing it. I feel like Ubah walks over to the kitchen part. Sai walks over as well. Brynn's basically saying, this is draining. Mentally, this is draining. I cannot keep doing this and going this merry-go-round with this bitch. I don't got time. The thing that I did not like that had happened is Brynn basically saying that, Ubah, you know, I'm trying to help you out so you won't look like the angry black woman. I didn't like that because, yes, Brynn, you are a black woman, right? But on the outside, you do benefit from societal norms.
I was like, Ubah, I don't want you to come off as angry. That was my priority with Ubah. Not that she's yelling at me.
It's just one of those things where I just find it very like, I understand where you're going to, but it's like, you can't really tell this woman how to behave and how to do this and how to do that. And then when you bring into the added thing where you're just like, well, you know, at the end, I'm just gonna let you look stupid. And I'm just looking like, so are we trying to, like, you know, we're trying to compare looking stupid to being a black woman. It's just certain things where I just felt like it was a touchy, sticky road with the conversation that Brynn's having. Because when you're talking about Ubah and looking like an angry black woman, and for Aaron to have to jump in and like, don't tell her that, you like, girl, hush, because you're not black. It's one of those things where it's just like, it can really be tone deaf.
I told her, I was like, I want you to marry Oliver. I want Oliver to want to marry you. I don't want you coming off like this as an angry black woman.
So I just want to start by saying that I'm not questioning Brynn's blackness. She already stated that she was half black. It is what it is on that part. So, you know, I acknowledge people that are black of all shades, on the darkest spectrum to the lightest of the spectrums, right? I just think from her stance of it, like I said, it can be tone deaf just because she does benefit from the societal colorism, right? And then you get to the added portion where it gets a little disturbing because you're saying, oh, well, I don't want, you know, you want to marry Oliver and I don't want him not to marry you because you look like an angry black woman. That part is really the part that I am questioning, because what do you mean by that? Like, it just goes to show for a lot of black women, like, I have sisters and I have a mom, black, but it goes to show where it's like, so as a black woman that's going to marry outside of her race, she cannot authentically express emotions. Now, don't get me wrong, was Ubah over here acting like an asshole? Yeah, but black women are allowed to express themselves in any fashion and not be deemed an angry black woman. Like, I deal with this at work all the time, and I have strong black women around me, and I make sure that they have a space to be firm, to be strong, and to know that if I can do that at work, you should be able to do that as well in any fashion and not be deemed an angry black woman. So I just feel like that whole connotation of quote unquote angry black woman, it just shouldn't have came up, because Ubah gave Brynn her flowers in this conversation, saying that, you know, I love you, you're an amazing woman, you're just condescending. And it is a banter back and forth, but like I said, there's wrong on both parts, and I think this is the part where everybody is, you know, want to cry and play the victim. Ubah cried, tried to play the victim. Brynn cried and tried to play the victim. And I just don't feel like there's no victim in this. It's just that, hey, right now we're not communicating in the way that we should. How can we get back to the way that we were?
Everybody knows what colorism is. Everybody knows what all these things are, and we know what both of you guys look like. So I just thought that in that situation, it kind of make it feel like it had to make me double take, because I was just like, okay, what do you mean by that, right? Like she said, she was trying to she was trying to, you know, look out for her girl, I guess. But I think maybe it was the situation because she's so aware of the TV and of the cameras that she feel like people are going to paint her as that. But my whole thing is like, fuck that, because we could have, our perception of the situation could have been like, Brynn, you over here trying to use other shit as a scapegoat, and we're on Ubah's side. You don't know how the situation would have panned out because you're making the assumption that that's what she's looking like. But I don't know, that was just, that caught me out of left field. I was just like, where did that come from? You know? But that was for Housewives of New Jersey. New York. But good notes. My car did get fixed. If some of you guys know, and some guys you probably don't know. Last Friday, I was doing a termination, and one of my associates smashed my back window because he got upset. So I had to drive around the city with like plastic sealing up my car. Mind you, I don't live in the same city where I work at because of stupid shit like this. But I got it fixed literally the next day. So I'm just like, you did all that and charges were pressed.
You're going to jail, bitch! Fuck them glasses! Fuck your goddamn worship and praise! Loafers! You going down, bitch! To the big house. That right.
So it was just crazy that you did all that and now you're going to jail for something as dumb as that. Right? But I definitely see the build up from Ubah and Brynn. I see why they're going to clash.
The second time now, people do this and you all kind of sit there with your thumb. We're all trying. Literally, I
just feel like they're not meshing this year. It does not seem like it's going to be good by any means. But y'all, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.
Brian, Keith, LG, Black Butte. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let a guy stop a jolly, break your head here. Step into the room and get up in the bed. It tastes sweet, that's cause I'm good. It tastes sour cause I'm better than the hood. Cause I get you hyper when I'm running all around, cause I excite you. Let me talk real quick. You can't even get with the shit. You wanna go toe to toe with my flow? This sour candy all I really ask you for. Now I got to go.